Welcome to another episode of Jet Set with Mooney and Annette. In this episode, we're going to do things a bit differently and just provide a walking tour of one of my favorite areas in Nashville, which is called the Gulch. I love visiting the Gulch because it has such a vibrant and youthful energy, and the neighborhood continues to change year after year. The Gulch is the first neighborhood in the entire South to achieve the LEED, or the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design certification. This is making it one of the greenest and most sustainable communities in the region. It originally started off as just a bunch of warehouses and railroads, but has obviously transformed significantly since its early days. Like most neighborhoods within Nashville, also known as Music City, there is a thriving music and art scene located in this small neighborhood. There's a ton of live music venues, including the famous Station Inn, which is a legendary spot for bluegrass and roots music. The first stop on this walking tour is Milk and Honey, of which you can see a review video right here on this channel. The Gulch has such a wide array of dining options, from upscale restaurants to trendy cafes and even food trucks. I can attest to the fact that it is a foodie paradise with a focus on locally sourced ingredients and innovative cuisines. It doesn't stop with the food. It is a great place for shopping, especially if you like smaller boutiques. There's a mix of high-end boutiques, national retailers, and unique local stores. You can pretty much find anything and everything when it comes to fashion, accessories, home goods, and gifts for your loved ones. The Gulch is typically a very busy area in terms of car and foot traffic. However, on this sunny Saturday morning, most people, it seemed, were off doing other things, so I got to enjoy the neighborhood without much elbowing and bumping into people on the street. The Gulch was indeed designed to be pedestrian and bike friendly. It's got very wide sidewalks for most metropolitan areas. It's got bike lanes and easy access to public transportation, which encourages both a healthy and active lifestyle. Here, there's ample street parking, which was payable digitally or through the actual meter, and it was $2 per hour to park. There also were larger parking garages and open air lots where you could park for between $10 to $15 for the day. There are quite a few places along the streets of the Gulch where you will see lots of people standing outside and waiting in line. Here was no exception, and I believe they were all waiting to take a picture with the iconic butterfly mural. The Gulch is well known for street art as well as striking murals, including this one, the popular Wings mural that was painted by Kelsey Montag, which has become a favorite photo spot for locals and tourists alike. One of my favorite little-known places along the streets of the Gulch is Noble Park. Here you can relax, play some frisbee, play with your dogs, or just sit and enjoy a lovely day outside. This is being overlooked by the W Hotel, which brings me to my next topic. Where do you stay if you want to be closer to the Gulch? There are quite a few hotels in the area, including budget brands and high-end experiences. There's Thompson Lane, a luxury boutique hotel that's known for its chic design and rooftop bars, the Westin Nashville with modern amenities and a rooftop pool, the W Nashville, known for its stylish decor, and the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott downtown, which is a bit more of a budget-friendly option. If you haven't noticed by now, something that stands out a lot about this area is that it is clean, clean, clean. This is something that sets this part of Nashville apart from other large cities and metropolitan areas, because there is a commitment to making sure that the roads and the streets have their cleanliness maintained. My first encounter with the Gulch was many, many years ago when I first started medical school back in 2014. Back in my day, the Gulch was still a concept. There were, of course, some apartments that were going up there. There were a few restaurants, but it wasn't the attraction that it is now. So I did a little digging to figure out who, why, when, what caused all of this change to happen here in just a short span of time. Apparently, this revitalization and expansion of the Gulch started in the early 2000s and was spearheaded by the Market Street Enterprises Group, which started redeveloping the former industrial and railroad area into a mixed-use neighborhood. The first significant development project was the construction of the Icon in the Gulch, which is a high-rise condominium building that started in 2006 and was completed in 2008. I can still remember being a med student trying to find somewhere to live and seeing that Icon building and having complete sticker shock that somebody could afford to pay so much money to live. And unfortunately, the prices of the housing here have apparently tripled to quadrupled. This is now known as an area that is a little bit more exclusive and upscale, and the rent prices definitely reflect this. The next stop on our walking tour is a candle making business, which has made its waves on social media as of late. You could make an appointment or a reservation in advance and make your own candle with your own signature scent, or purchase from the ones that they had displayed readily at the store. As we continue walking down the street to the edge of the Gulch, our destination was Five Daughters Bakery. You can see another YouTube video that I've done reviewing the delicious donuts that you would find at Five Daughters Bakery, and I promise it was worth the walk. Speaking of walk, if you are someone with decreased mobility or someone who really is just too lazy to make it from one edge of the road to the other, you could always rent one of the scooters that is always parked. If you do make it from one edge of the Gulch to the next, as we'll demonstrate here in this walking tour, you might think, wow, I am absolutely exhausted. How far was this? This is a relatively small area, however, it still covers approximately 110 acres. Don't let the size scare you. It still is a very manageable walk, especially because the roads are paved as well as the sidewalks are paved so well. They're smooth. You don't have to worry about any tripping risks. There's no upturned concrete whatsoever. And if you are pushing a wheelchair or a stroller, you'll find that you have a pretty easy time. So we made it from one end of the Gulch to the next with our primary destination in mind, which was Five Daughters Bakery. You can again go to our page and see a review of how we thought these donuts tasted. This is one of the premier destinations in the Gulch and Nashville at large. So if you are making a trip down to Music City, you don't want to miss out on these delicious 100-layer donuts. And after all that walking, you can bet your bottom dollar that I enjoyed at least 1 to 2, maybe 3 of these delectable donuts. The Gulch is one of those neighborhoods that you visit and makes you feel like you would have a better life if you were to pick up and move to a new city. And if you selected Nashville as that new city to move to, you would be in good company. As of recent data, they show that Nashville is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire United States of America. About 80 to 100 people move to Nashville every single day. That translates to about 29,000 to 36,500 new residents every single year. This influx has been driven by Nashville's growing economy, the vibrant cultural scene, musicians, and reputation as a major entertainment hub. Coming down here would be attached to a hefty price tag. However, because the condos that are located in the Gulch can range from $400,000 for a studio condo to well over $1 million for larger and more upscale properties. If you wanted to rent in the Gulch, as I was saying before, it tends to be pretty pricey as well. You can expect to pay about $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment to over $4,000 per month for a larger or more spacious option. If you wanted to embark on your own walking tour of the Gulch and were wondering whether it is safe to do so, I can absolutely say that it is. Other larger cities may have you worrying about someone snatching your purse, kidnappings, and other violent crimes. However, the Gulch is considered one of the safer neighborhoods in Nashville. It has a very strong presence of both residents and visitors, which also contributes to a sense of community. There is very active community engagement. Local businesses and residents are really invested in maintaining a safe environment for patrons, as well as many buildings having their own private security firms, as well as significant police presence. The Nashville Police Department patrols the area regularly, which contributes to a lower rate of crime compared to some other parts of the city. But of course, as always, this area is safe, but if you're going out at night, especially to some of the famous bars in the area, you want to behave just as you would in any other urban area. Be aware of your surroundings, avoid poorly lit areas, and make sure you secure your belongings in order to ensure that you have a safe and enjoyable experience in the neighborhood. I almost forgot to mention a bit about our furry friends. Another reason to come visit the Gulch is that it's incredibly dog friendly. There are dog parks in the areas, as well as pet friendly resources, including many apartments in the area that have dog washing stations and designated areas for pets to go to the bathroom. This area of the Gulch has many pet services, including grooming salons, pet supply stores, vet clinics, and pretty much anything that you could need if you were going to come to live or to stay temporarily with your four-legged friend. All of the restaurants that I have seen in the Gulch also are very, very welcoming when it comes to bringing your dogs, especially when you're eating on the patio. A lot of the restaurants even provide water bowls for them and some treats for your furry friends. If you time your visit right, you may end up at one of the many pet-friendly events and activities that the community throws in the Gulch. Overall, I'm sure you can see why this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in the entire world. It is somewhere where many different cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, and all different types of professions interact and one. You can find something for just about everybody, whether it be shopping, exercise, food, desserts, or just getting together with your friends and having a lovely Saturday afternoon eating some brunch. If you have a trip to Nashville scheduled, I highly recommend that you take at least the afternoon and explore the magic that you can find in the Gulch. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please subscribe, like, and share so that we can continue providing more travel content just for you. Thank you.